Hi, and welcome back to Tarot Life Coach Channel with me, your host, Tonya Melendez. So today is Monday, August 26th. What a quiet week we have in the planets right now. Things are starting to move just a little bit. We are now moving fully from Leo into Virgo, so things are starting to balance each other out. We've got a new moon approaching, but as of right now, everything is okay. So before we get started with prayer, let's talk about our cards for today. So our mantra is going to come from messages from the angels, and our message is going to come from the gateway cards, as well as our tarot reading. So before we go any further, let's go ahead and take it to prayer. Breathing in good, breathing in grace, breathing in divinity, knowing that in this divine and perfect moment that God is all that there is. And I'm knowing that God is grace and ease. God is light and love. And I know that we are all one with God. We are all one with all that is. And so I'm just opening and allowing this energy to come through. We are harnessing our energy with grace and ease. And so I bless our homes and our modes of transportation. I bless all of our animals and our work, our prosperity, our health, our wealth, our friendships, our relationships, our family. I bless it all, calling it good. And I'm just so grateful to speak these words, knowing that as each and every one of us harness our energy, we grow in more power. How good it is to know this truth for ourselves and for each other. I release these words knowing that it is done and all is well. Okay, so let's get started. So our mantra message, because I did promise today, I'm going to do a little bit with the pendulum. The reason I want to show you how to use the pendulum is because a lot of people really don't know how to charge them, and it really comes from our key word, harnessing your energy. So it's really up for you to decide what energy you want to, how you want to charge your pendulum. A lot of people say, oh, it's a positive and negative to the left or to the right, but it's really about your energy. And look at this. I love that we got this. We got Azure. And it says, our desired outcome will come in the very near future. Have patience and faith and don't try to force it to happen. So what this is telling me is everything that we need is coming. There's a big clock here. So this is letting us know patience. Remember, patience is preparing us for our manifestation, but the time is coming. So stay tuned. And then let's go ahead and move right into our gateway. So let's see what our message has to say today. So about harnessing our energy, we have to recognize and realize that we are limitless. The only limits that we have are those that we place upon ourselves. And it's time for us to open and allow ourselves to shine our light and to open in a big, beautiful way. Let go of those limits and those limitations, because all they do really is lock us down, lock us into the small when we really want to bloom. So here we go. So we get making a difference. My inner light, did I not just say this? My inner light shines far and wide, so making a difference. Then we get communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. This is about speaking it. And then we get cultivating prosperity. The abundance of the universe is pouring into my life. So this is really telling us that as we harness our energy, then we can flow. We are in flow when we're harnessing our energy. So allow your manifestations to come true by speaking your truth and by really allowing yourself to make a difference. So I love that we got these cards. So let's see what the tarot have to say today. And again, the book is coming along. I've had some little changes because I've had some insights with last week's full moon. So that really just kind of excited me a little more. And so the changes are good changes. And again, you know, a book is always evolving just like we all are. So I'm allowing myself this opportunity to see what's happening. But I am in the second edit. It's coming. And I have a series of little books that are coming just for you, my listeners and followers. I'm so grateful for this. So our tarot message. Now, this is a really interesting message. So the first one we get is the Six of Rods. And so what this is telling me is, again, very similar to this card. Be patient. We're going in the right direction. Trust. Remember, rods represent fire and spirit, and so with this moving forward, we have to be purposeful, we have to be passionate, and we have to be patient. So allow yourself to know where you're going, how you're getting there. Don't worry about the details. Just know that you are moving forward in the direction of your dreams. Because then, I love that we got this. We got cultivating prosperity again, right here, the Ace of Pentacles. So this is about trusting your worthiness, and it's so awesome. I decided to wear my yellow shirt today because I was really harnessing my third chakra here, which is the seat of our soul, the seat of our willpower and our power, and that's why I wore yellow today. And then we also have that yellow here. So it's really about allowing yourself to open and allow those things that need to come forth to come forth in all ways. So know that you are worthy and deserving. And then this is the interesting one. This is the Ten of Swords. Swords represent air and thought, so stop judging yourself and start discovering yourself. What we do is break ourselves down and allow ourselves to not really know the truth of who we are, and that is how we cultivate these negative stereotypes about ourselves. So stop judging. Hello. So, and I am working in an open space today because I wanted to utilize the large mirror behind me as we're doing our pendulum. So sorry for any distractions. So that was a quick, easy distraction. So let's go ahead and get started with the pendulum. And that's the reason I kind of felt like I rushed through the cards. But again, because I am working in an open space, I have to also remember that. So I wanted to start. I always use the pendulum in my non-dominant hand, which for me is my left hand, because I am a righty. So if you're right hand or left hand, it's really up to you to decide which hand you want to start on. But I always use my left hand, and the reason I do that is because my dominant hand, my right hand, is always talking. And as you can see, my hand is always talking. So I use my less dominant hand. And what I like to do, I have is labradorite with moonstone on the top. I'll zoom it in so you can see it. I've had this for years. And if you see me pause, you know, I rarely do this, but like I said, I am working in an open area because I wanted to use the mirror behind. And if you see anything while I'm doing this video, I want you to know, and that's the reason I wanted to use the large mirror, it's because of the energy around me, some of the questions that I'm going to show you. So what I like to do is always start here with my dominant hand underneath, and then I put using my non-dominant hand as the holder. So as you see here, it's nice and still. Now I'm going to ask it a question. I'm even going to touch it to my hand to make sure it's nice and still. So you see there's no breeze, there's no movement. So the first question I'm going to ask, let's get it nice and just to show you how you can charge your own pendulum. So, am I surrounded by angels? If yes, please move to the right. If no, move to the left. And because this is a video, you have to recognize that any movement is going to be the opposite. So let's see. Am I surrounded by angels? Yes to the right, no to the left. And as you can see, it's starting to swing wildly to the right. Now I'm going to stop it simply by placing my hand underneath and see how it slows down the energy. So let's go ahead and shake that one off. So whenever you ask a question, make sure it's a yes or no question. Don't leave any space for grayness or a maybe or any other object. Make it a yes or no, something very definitive. So now we all know I am surrounded by angels, and I was so focused on the video and making sure nobody else is walking in. I don't know if anything came through with the mirror, and the reason I like I said, the reason I wanted to use the mirror, and we'll talk about that at a later date, mirror talk as well as mirror images, is because I wanted to show you that how the energy flows, because we are all mirrors to each other. And again, it's about harnessing our energy. So let's ask it another question. So this time I'm going to ask, let's see, what would be a good question? Am I sad today? If yes, go to the left. If no, go to the right. Am I sad today? And as you can see, it's going to the left, because this time I said yes is to the left and right is to the right. So again, I'm going to slow it down. And I'm going to ask just a wild question. And this is just so you can see how I've charged it. So first question I asked for it to go right. Yes, right was was yes, and left was no. The second question I said was yes was left, and right was no. So this time, just so you can show you, all right, so I'm going to ask will my book be a top seller? If yes, to the right. If no, to the left. So it's telling me it's going to be a big seller. I'm excited about that. It's going to the right. And again, for you, it's going to look to the left. So that is how you charge your pendulum. Again, I put all of my crystals, because it is a crystal. It's a labradorite with a moonstone on top. I put all my crystals together. And that way, when it's the full moon, they're all together. All of their energy comes in together and works together. So again, I've had this for years, and it's been charging with my energy for years. So again, try it with your left dominant hand before you start it with your dominant hand, and mix it up. Sometimes make yes to the right, make it to the left. See how it charges. But whenever you hold one hand underneath, it should always stop. And don't just answer questions for yourself, because you can start to convince yourself again that you've got all the answers. But again, this is about harnessing your energy. So where are you placing your limits? Where are you placing your glass ceiling? Allow yourself to open up and bloom even more. Allow yourself to cultivate your prosperity, remember, by communicating freely and by making a difference. And know that there is no reason to rush. Everything's coming together exactly as it's supposed to. So until next week, everybody, know that you are loved, you are light. I'm sending you so many peace and blessings from my heart to yours. So until next week, everybody, peace and blessings.